Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing Jake's List from the Star City Games event in Orlando, I believe it is. For some reason I feel like that's wrong, but I'm not sure. It is day one and this is the list they were on. I believe it was 8-1 for the day. They play in round 6 or 7. Unfortunately, we have to do the hand thing, you know. It's by law. It's been out in the ether, right? But the idea of elementals being a good deck in standard is crazy to think about, and this is a very spicy list to run into the kind of open bracket when some decks are solved and some are obviously going to be like upgraded versions of decks that are solved, I guess. But this deck does perform well. The idea is to have early acceleration with either Flame Braider or Ashling and maybe a Springleaf Drum. Obviously we need other stuff by evoking and whatnot can give us some extra mana. But detect to counter something and bounce off to bounce something. Very obvious. But we want very few interaction because all of our interaction comes from our elemental. So it's not that big of a deal to be lower on this stuff, right? Where Deceit is here for the kind of bounce and look at our opponent's hand. The Wistful is to exile important things while also drawing and discarding. And then Vibrance is kind of the best of both worlds, where we go get a land that helps us accelerate, and then we also get to shoot something for 3, which is really, really, really nice. And then we have a cool card, Ashling's Command. This is a weird one where I feel like the value is a bit whack, but it is an elemental, so weirdly enough, Cavern and stuff can be used for it, which is obviously nice. You can board wipe somebody if they're all lower to the ground creatures. For example, like a Badgermole Cub and elves and things like that. The 2 damage becomes really relevant. Or just sometimes copy a big elemental, which is great. It won't trigger any of these. I didn't know for sure, but I went and tested it after I kind of was like, there's no way this works, right? There's 0 chance because it obviously has to be cast, but either way, deck performs really well. We're going to be playing it in Mythic and see how well it can kind of do in best of 1 with just its starting shell. It wouldn't import the sideboard over for me and I couldn't necessarily see it all, and I'm in a bit of a rush. There's a snowstorm. I don't know if I'll have power tomorrow or the next day or when we'll get it back. If it does go out, it's already -1 out degrees Fahrenheit for maybe some people who aren't here. It's -1, so it's very cold, things like that. So with that said, let's dive into the games. Okay, well, only one of these and good base to start. Why not here, right? Why not indeed? So one of the things I don't know from the matches is, am I supposed to play this? I feel like the answer is yes, right? Well, I guess it would be yes, because then I can just hard cast this. I don't have to wait for the flip. But it doesn't seem like it's going to live, though. Fortunately. Sure. Demon Wall. I'm going to go for Ashling here. Do I want to do any of this? Maybe Deceit can just go for another copy of Deceit. Of course. Exactly what we predicted. Unstoppable Slasher here, maybe. Oh, well, this counters that too, so we'll just do that. Virtue with no target, then it gets countered, of course. Where do we go from here? Could do this. Bounce, but then that doesn't really help us much. Let's try to go for it again. I get rid of this guy again. Nice. Just hitting our land drops and eventually getting to this would be nice. Bloodletter. Sweet. So this has 2 green, get a land, 3 damage. We want the red, but it has to be blue, right? Although I have a cavern, so it shouldn't matter. I want this to be red. Then here for elemental, of course. Could just do both. Yes. We want this 3 damage to take something out, of course. And now we want to tutor and land. Could get the Spire, but I think we just take Ori here. I don't control the plains or an island, but I think it's just good enough. Artifact or enchantment. Bloodletter is kind of annoying. Now that sucks, of course. Well, passing is pretty tight, to be honest. It just does this over and over again. That is only when it transforms. Whenever this creature transforms, and at the beginning. Oh, I guess I didn't realize that. I don't really want to flip here. So can I do this? I shouldn't have did blue, I guess. Create a token as a copy of an elemental you control. Target player draws 2 cards, deals 2 damage to each creature target opponent controls. So, a bit weird, huh? Both of these. Yep. Not that it necessarily matters that we did both of those, but rid of this. Go here. I don't have double red to use this on that, so we just chill for a second. I could have attacked with Vibrance, I suppose. But, ooh. Kind of sucks we use that now, of course. So we're going to take 4 in the air. I want to make red. Then I'll pay a red here to flip it. Well, we did that. Okay. So I can do 3 damage and then exile. I want to do both of these and then I want to do double green there. Actually, do I care to do green here? This game's so hard. This feels like such an easier deck in paper because I can just set the lands aside and do what I want. So I guess green, green, evoke, green, green. Want to exile this? Sure. And so I can't do the green on this either, but we'll do it with red at least. We'll pop here. Then we'll just attack. I'll work on closing this game. They're down to 11. I can make a copy and do 2 damage, I guess. Because the thing is me copying, right, doesn't do anything. Okay. Yeah, so this is actually going to take me a little bit of time to get used to. All these elementals, I also am trying to remember exactly which ones say what, because just as I got used to playing them, I now have to remember what this one does and what colors I need. And like, well, having 4 green mana is kind of hard. This doesn't necessarily, does this trigger this? I actually don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just a cool way to do stuff because it's an instant. We can make a copy of an elemental and then we can draw 2, do whatever, or make some treasures. It's just a sweet card in general. I think we're cooked, so we'll see. Pretty good card. Although I do think they're going to go for this next turn, so this should be fine. I guess, no, not that one. This one. Brutal. This is like the better one to play in a spot like that, but the only real problem for us is we need 2 cards, right? We need either the one that counters the ability of when they bring it back, or just a bounce, right? Because we can always bounce something and it'd be fine. However, the thing here is, like, our opponent's graveyard is not as oppressive as ours, but if they played an Arden, it would be. Well, it would be better, right? Because they can just take our stuff and win. There goes a Bringer, which is, like, okay. I don't have a card to do this with. Am I just flipping regardless? I guess not. Oh no, because it doesn't on the other side anyway. So do I want this one? I guess so, maybe? Because they don't have an Arden in there, right? Correct. Okay, so let's just do green, I guess. Go elemental here. We do this for green. I just want to exile their Overlord, pretty much. I would like to use that. And I want to play the Flame Braider. And go here, I guess. No, pass. So it's kind of weird because like their graveyard will be better than mine, which sucks. Like they will have better stuff in play than me. They actually don't have a blue mana, which is funny. Well, obviously they play plenty of lands that could. Although a lot of them are the fast lands, weirdly, and they haven't played one yet. But obviously a cavern solves that, right? Yeah. I think they were just deciding whether they're supposed to do it or not. Sure. Like, I'm not feeling great about this. But the Thunderflock has come in here, right? So we'll discard a Vibrance here. Not super thrilled. Actually, yeah, I need a land. Okay, maybe I should have been more specific. That's a 4/4. No, that allows me to bird watch here, right? You can have those back. Yeah, this card's sick, dude. Now, they don't... Obviously, they could have a way in their hand to discard something. But we're kind of chilling. This can do 3 damage. I definitely have plenty of damage in my hand. Or in play plus this, right? No. Brutal. Sure. That makes 2 for me here. So my red greening Vibrance. He's just playing it, shooting. Guess so. They don't have a way to give haste. They do have terror, I guess. Decline. I don't even want to remove their Land War Elves. That's the problem, actually. Well, I guess it's like not that big of a deal, right? But I'll make them block. Sorry, opponent. I know this is taking a second here. Both here. I will shoot face. Here. Elemental, I guess. Then go to combat. I honestly want to attack because I don't want them to be able to bitter triumph, right? And their turn right now is not that impressive. And I have another one of these, right? So they can do a lot of damage. It's just this has to be land and Overlord, right? To like kind of keep me scared. This bringer deal 6 for 1, so it's 11. It might clear my board, I guess. I don't think they will clear. I think they'll go... They might clear that, but I think the rest is going to go face, right? Decline. Oh, it only did... Okay. Yes. I want blue here. Goes back in your hand, brethren. Under Flock is a really cool card. We're big fans around these parts. And they just don't have anything, right? So, pass. Can we do it? All our stuff. Why do I feel like Terror didn't do enough? Oh, because the bringer's already in play before it brings back, right? Yeah, so it's way less. Or, well, 4 is in play. So we missed that. Yeah. Well, I thought it was going to be more. I don't know. It's so weird. We were able to just put on so much pressure so quick that they just couldn't do much about it, right? This is a really weird matchup, and we'll take a couple of attempts to figure it out. But I don't know if they're not here or they maybe salted off. I'm not really sure. So, oh, they're actually here. Sure. Return all non-elementals. Sure. Red, I guess. Fine. It's what? Block, still win. So let's just send them in. Letting them out if they want to get out. If not, we can sit here and wait, I guess. But it's up to them. Okay. Cool. Nice, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Here into this, maybe? It's so weird because it's so likely to just get popped, right? That's the hard part in best of 1 is like they always have the answer for this, where it feels like in best of 3 they won't have it near as often. Blue, black, maybe mono blue? Could be mono blue. But if this lives, right, it's just so good. So hopefully our opponent's just like, well, let's map this and do nothing, right? And if I do get there... Wow, so weird, because then I want to name... Well, it's only a golem on this... I would like to be able to play the Spire and then Roaming Throne, right? They could play a bounce spell here, which would suck. They rip another island. So it seems like mono blue at this point, right? And... Sure, dude. Gotta love the good old boomerang basics. The old boomerang basics. The old bounce your thing back to your hand, I guess. It's like, okay. It's fine. Like, it's fair enough, right? Quantum Riddler. Is this where we splash portal this? Which will only, like, temporary do it, right? Yes. That's all we need. Let's go elemental here. A little part of me wants to set up my Roaming Throne. But the seat's so good here, right? Both of these. I will bounce that to your hand. We'll look. We'll take a little look. Draw a card, cost 1 less for each. I didn't even know that card existed. Honestly, I don't even care if they have the Riddler. I'm just going to take the only annoying card. This is sick, though. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each island you control. I might even play that in, like, Commander or something. It'll take a little while, right? But they play it here. It costs 2 mana. As it gets a little bit farther on, it's just, like, free draw. Like, tap a draw card. Yeah, sick, dude. What? Water Bending Scroll. Speaking of Commander, for anybody who cares, because we're just gonna. I don't know what my opponent's doing, right? Like, his mono blue is super sweet, right? But I'm just gonna kind of talk as though whatever. They could they could stun my flame raider. They don't, but manner, right? Super cool in general. Do I want to do this? They could have counterspell. I mean, I'm jamming it. I assume it's just this. If they rip the counterspell, then great. Well, I guess they have a draw, right? Sure. Interesting. I thought they were gonna go for this, right? Another one of these, I suppose. But I've been playing Azula, the 3 mana, or well, 4 mana, 3 different color Grixis, right? The Fire Lord Azula is the card I've been playing, and man, has that deck been sick. When I play Commander with the group we play with, I don't, and a lot of them don't really go, man, I have to play the best stuff. We're not playing CDH. Our decks are typically 3 or 4s, right? Which is, like, obviously nice. Do not bounce this Deceit through my hand. It will not go well. Okay. I was like, that would not go well. But we did play like 3 or 4s, and the way my Azula deck was running today and yesterday, I just went 5-0 because I got to start doing crazy absurd stuff. I could Roaming Throne and just double Elemental here, but I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's just play Vibrance and watch my opponent leave. Yeah. Do both of these. 3. Let's grab another Cavern just in case. Then let's grab another Cavern just in case. Obviously, they're about to be at like Quantum Riddler mana, so there is a bit of that. Jam here. Double ETB on this. Let's go bend this. Take a draw. Pretty sweet draw. Let's decline on that. Let's attack for 4. But I've been playing the enchantment that has flash. It's 3 red and X, and for every X, like 1 you put into that, if a source you control were to deal damage, it will deal that much damage plus that 1. This is where this card's sick. Like, this is 2 mana. Like, that's so sick. Especially if they would have played it Riddlered and then activated after they did everything, but they already played land for turn, so it gets a little bit weird. But man, is that card sick. So basically I made a bunch of little wizards, O1s, and I would cast a spell, and that thing I would flash in at combat, it would get like 8 counters on it, so then there would be 16 extra damage it would all do, which is super nice. It's so hard to play this and then tell a story, but I don't really know what my opponent's doing half the time. So green, blue, sure, transform it. Why did it ask me that? I have no idea. This, so we will exile here. I guess we'll exile here, and then we'll draw 2, discard 2, or well, draw 4, discard a couple. Then we can go here, name elemental, and then I can do this after combat, I guess, right? Yeah, so everything attacks. Obviously there's a Riddler, and they could block my Roaming Throne, but we obviously know what we're doing here. Either way, at the end of the day, Azula's awesome, and it's super fun to play. If you've never played her before and you've been thinking about it, you definitely should, in my opinion. Tagging with Roaming Throne is also criminal, by the way. But sure. Go to 10. Nice. Up this. I shouldn't have attacked with Roaming Throne. I don't know. I'm just doing stuff at random at this point. I could 100% lose this game because I'm not taking it all that serious, but Yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. My other commander decks is Terra. Prevail 2. Okay. So I have a Warp. I didn't know this card existed, but okay. But I have Terra. I have the new Elemental Precon. I have obviously Azula. What is my last commander deck? Oh, I have your Stola. I just don't play it very often. Because your Stola gets me in trouble. Your Stola gets me in trouble with the boys. They're like, I'm sorry, what are you trying to do to us? And I'm like, I don't know, bro. Just please leave me alone. Sorry, opponent. I would just go to combat and win. I wasn't flipping or anything. But cool. So there's that poorly explained story of how I played Azula, and I'm so sorry that I told it in such an awful way. But basically, played Azula. Faded Firepower. It's a flash enchantment. It has 3 red and X. I basically go to combat. I firebend a million. By a million, I do like 20. And then I basically put 8 into X, made 2 of them. So each damage source every source I had, any damage it did an extra 16 damage. So every time I cast a spell, I had 3 wizards in play that shot my opponents. So if they do 1, they actually do 17 apiece. So they were just doing like 50 plus damage a spell I cast. Was really cool. That's all I wanted to say. That was it. And it took me 8 minutes. That's crazy. Opponent first. Here. I wonder what they're going to do to me. Are they going to remove my stuff? I couldn't force them to discard here, which would actually be kind of nice. Because let's be honest. They got removal. I'd like to do double black here. Let's take a look. So they have Exile. They have Strategic Betrayal, which this doesn't matter that much, right? Destroy all creatures. That matters. That's whatever. And that's whatever. Well, they can't actually even cast this with their mana, right? So I guess this. That's obviously... They can demo field me, which update, by the way. Not great. Oh, well, now we're cooked. Now we are cooked. A little less cooked. A little less cooked. Okay. We're probably going to activate this to look for a swamp, right? Don't really care too much about this. We just need the, like... We just need the good stuff, right? So go red here. I meant to go green. That's brutal. How did I do that? My brain just doesn't work sometimes. That's crazy. I'm so mad. Play this Springleaf Drum, bro. Play this Flame. We could play the front side here, but pass. I'm so mad. Why did I go red? I was like, oh yeah, I have enough. And then it taps. And I'm like, yeah, because that's how it works, dummy. Loot again. So they're looking for that. Oh, they got rid of it. So maybe they didn't find it here. Didn't think that was going to work out like that. Well, that does nothing. Which is pretty dope for us, obviously. Okay, that does a little something. Thunderflock's actually the worst one of the two. Whether they know that or not, I don't. Obviously, I don't know. Well, they apparently know something. Smart fellas. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sure. Okay. I'll take it, bro. That was just a weird game. I didn't like that at all. Sure. Here. Okay. So what? Sure, bro. The problem is, none of my creatures ever live here for the most part, right? If this lives, it's so good. So we just play it and hope, I guess. We hope they have like bolt waves and stuff. I hope that my thing lives. Ooh, maybe 1/3 is better. I don't know. Great draw. So I could pop this. I can go with this. Let's go with this, actually. They might have a shock here. That's what that pause is probably. I would assume it's a shock. Get rid of the other one. Yeah, I'm aware. So maybe we'll get to do this. No. If they have enough to end the game here, then great. There's nothing I'd do. Land in a shock, right? That's what we're putting them on, obviously. The 1/3 on both sides, so it doesn't really matter. Flip. Once we pay, it's happening. So that's pretty cool. We need to do red. Elemental. Let's do both. Obviously, I'd love to play Roaming Throne, just not gonna be able to do that here. And we can kind of gatekeep this Grim Lavamancer. Or, not Grim Lavamancer, you know what I mean. 3. Gain a little bit of life here, which is nice. Obviously, you don't want any damage to happen, so we'll just go ahead and grab Cavern. Keep it up, you know? Then we'll just hold here. I will block this with the 1/3, and then they can pop it if they want. Sure. No attack here is kind of crazy, right? So this is a blue, I guess. Fine. Elemental. Go here. I know this puts us a shields down for a second, but we have to. We could have went for this and popped both of these, I guess, but I'm just waiting. We know that this is a shocker burst lightning, right? So we know we can be a little bit safer about it. Sweet. Now I have double these, which is nice. So we want to do blue and red. Blue. Red. We will pay 1 into this because we want it to flip here. We want to double draw. We'll get rid of breeding pool. We're looking to try to gain more life is honestly what we're trying to do. Fine. We want to do this, I guess, right? Yeah, let's just do it. Full price here. Because we got to turn on the value somehow. A little part of me thinks I'm supposed to just do this, but I actually don't know. I get to double discard here, so... Alright, well, we just gotta hope they don't draw a burn spell, I guess. Okay. Do they rip the burn? Go blue here. Oh. Okay, I have enough for this actually, which is nice. So we should be fine. Bounce off can go. Wait, bounce off shouldn't have went. Wait, I might have applied upon. Oh, we're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Sure. So I would like to make mana here. Bounce off should not have gone because of Hellkite. I could have lost to that. But let's go ahead and do this. Obviously, 3, 3. And then we're going to win there. Yeah, no, bounce off is fine because I wasn't thinking it. But Nova Hellkite, which I did see Liz not playing it. I do see Liz do playing it. It is a little late, so I'm not necessarily that locked. But I was like, okay, well, I can counter any spell with this because I have the Springleaf Drum in terms of instants and sorceries. And I was like, oh, I'm good. Discard that Roaming Throne. What are we doing? It's not even that hard of a choice. Just discard the Roaming Throne. We have it on board. Especially if they play a creature in the way, just bounce it. I don't know what we're doing. We're gaming, that's for sure. Okay, so here we are. I just realized the sideboard wasn't here. I did have to put this list in manually, even though I copied it over, because it doesn't. The way it exports, it doesn't like the way that this card is because of the double slash in it. But yeah, if you want to check this out in more depth, actually in a tournament, it did get played in the Star City thing. But the problem, it's not the problem with those tournaments. You only get to like watch certain rounds of it, right? And it did have a match on there against Is It Lessons. I didn't get to play against it today. I don't know how great the matchup, especially in Best of One, is, but the deck does feel really good. Obviously, the downside being is the Mythic count is quite crazy, actually. And it is a bit expensive. So right here, I mean, that's already 11. And these are all your rares. And then you even have like one rare here. And just a little bit of commons and uncommons. But then you have your caverns that are mythics. And these lands don't necessarily matter. But this is... Don't... Dude, please. Please go in the same location. These are all rares. So your whole mana base other than 4 is rares because you don't even play basics in this list. There's 11 of these and just a crazy amount of stuff. So it is very expensive in terms of playing it on Arena. And it does feel really good. However, the Star City event should be over at the point this gets uploaded, I believe. But I have to do it now. I don't know if I'll have power. So that's basically why I gotta do it. But with that, I hope you all enjoyed the video. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching and goodbye.